Welcome back, another episode, Willie Phats. Stuffed burgers tonight. So we got just some mushrooms here, green onion, jalapeno, parsley, and some leftover ribs. So I'm gonna cut these ribs down into some little chunks here. And these ribs we did just a nice dry seasoning on. Basted them in barbecue sauce. So they got nice caramelization on them. So you might have to fight to get the rest of the meat off of these here. But it's worth it. And we want to get this kind of in smaller pieces because we're going to be putting it inside of our burger. This is going to be part of the filling. It's a good way to use your leftovers when you got leftover ribs. I manipulate my leftovers and make something new out of it every time I cook. That's what we want. Well, once you can't get no more off the bone, this is what I like to do. Oh my goodness. And if you notice here, I got a new faucet, freshly donated from a friend of mine, helping old D. Willie out. Much obliged. So now we're just going to work on these onions and this pepper. So I got 1 jalapeno, 2 green onion, a little bit of parsley here. So this is all going to be part of the filling for our burger. So I'll start with these onions. Use it all up. Jalapeno. We're going to leave some spice in it. We're going to leave the seeds. Just in thin strips. Same thing. There's a nice fine chop on these mushrooms. Remember, these mushrooms have a lot of water content in them, so they're going to cook down. So what we're doing here is we want to make sure we have enough room to stuff inside these burgers here. So we have to be careful with the ingredients that we put in these burgers. So we'll do this little bit of parsley. We're going to be adding that in at the end. So now that we have this prep, alright, we're going to be adding our burger. We got some pretty fatty burger. We got some 73-27. Want to cut the end off here. End off on these logs of burger like this. You can kind of squeeze them out in sections. We'll save the rest. So we're going to do about 2.5 pounds here. You can see how it comes out real nice, and then we'll spin it up. Then you can kind of just fold that over like you do a loaf of bread and stick that in the freezer or the fridge. And you know, that'll stay for a while. So that's what I'm going to do with them. I'm just going to put it in the fridge. So now I want to season this burger. So I'm just going to kind of take a fork here and just kind of roughly just break this up. I'm going to do some seasoned pepper and some garlic salt. And for a nice addition, for a nice a binder here, I'm going to use these green chilies that I bought from the store. Just like that. A little bit of this parsley, a little bit of jalapeno, and the onion. So from now, we're going to kind of just mix this up with our fork a little bit. So let me mix this up for about a minute here. I'm going to start these vegetables. Let me start these vegetables and I'm going to continue to mix this. I just got a little pan here, just put some olive oil in it. We're going to start that up. About medium high. So what we're trying to do here is we're going to try to cook some of this water content out of these mushrooms, the jalapeno and onion mixture that we got. So we're going to put that on bottom first. And we're not going to stir this. We're going to let this cook down. Then I'm going to put this, these old pork ribs on here. We're just going to leave that on top like that. So now that we got that going, just get that broken down just enough where it gets nice and pliable. And then we're going to let this cool, and then we're going to stuff our burgers with it. Because what we want to do is we want to cook our burger without cooking our ingredients that are stuffed in the middle. Because I'm going to be adding an addition of cheese and a bunch of different accoutrements on top. So we're gonna just work on this. Here, let this cook. I'll show you how to mix these burgers. So I've been letting our onion, pepper, mushroom rib mixture here just cool down a minute. And this is beautiful here. We're not trying to drown out the burger with this, so we're gonna stuff them, and then we're gonna add a nice topping to the top. Kind of show you how to form these stuffed burgers. You have to use your hands. There's no getting around it. You know, get a nice baseball size handful. It's important to get enough when you start, because what we're doing here is we're going to be building the base. So we start with building the base, and then we're going to put a lid on it. So as we're doing this, just get your fingers and kind of just slap it in the middle a little bit like this, kind of flatten that down. So we're just going to stick it in this bowl here, and we're going to press this lid up like this. So you can see how we have a little a meat bowl going on there. So we're going to take some of our filling and put it right in the middle. I'm just going to put a piece of cheese right on top here. You know, it's important that we have a nice area on top where that burger wants to stick to itself. So now we'll get about half of what we did earlier. You know, work it with your hands, good. Throw it back and forth. You know, get that fat warmed up, because when that fat warms up, what it does is it becomes really sticky. And what we want that to do is we want it to stick to the other meat that we got here in our bowl. You know, don't be afraid. I mean, your hands are going to get messy, but that's necessary in this application. So we'll set this patty right on top here like this. And this is what we're looking for. Okay, see how this looks here? So now what we do here is we mend this together. You want to agitate this side here. So what that's kind of doing is that's binding that meat together, so the insides don't come out. And this is looking very nice. And you can see how this kind of comes together. If you see some holes, you know, in there, kind of mend it together. And that's one burger. So I'm gonna keep forming these burgers. And next time you see me, we'll be putting these, we're going to be pan searing these tonight. So stick around and check it out. So it's imperative to get this grease up to a nice temp. You know, it's not like the grill where you can just put your hand over it. What you need to do for it is you need to be able to see the separation in the grease. And once you see that oil slick coming on that grease, you know it's getting hot. Okay? So now we're going to add our burgers. You know, what I like to do normally is I try to use the biggest piece of meat always first, because it's going to take a little bit longer for it to cook naturally. So you want to add the bigger piece first. We're going to put it season side up, because remember when we built these burgers, we got more meat on the bottom side than the top, because it's really hard to do an even plating on this. So we're going to put this side down first. We want to let these sit and let the meat congeal up and draw in, and that's the natural process that the meat wants to do. So we're going to let these sit here, and we're going to leave them uncovered. Okay, we're going to leave these uncovered on this high heat for about 7-8 minutes. And when we flip them over, we're going to cover them. What that's going to do is that steam is going to happen from all the reaction from the water and the chilies and everything that we have going on in this meat. And it's going to cook these burgers nicely. So let me wash up, and I'll be back in about 8 minutes. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, you can see I just got a couple pieces of bread. Just plain and simple white bread, just toasted. You know, and the bread ain't going to make this dish. It's the burger. I'm going to serve it open face here. So let me show you how to do this one here. So we have these burgers covered up real nice. Just gonna set it right on top here of this bread. The bread is not playing the role here, the meat is. So we're gonna take a little bit of these greens and pile these greens on top. Maybe a little bit around the side just to make it look nice. We're gonna take some of this Nice mixture that we got here. Put a dollop right on top here. It's a big burger. So we'll take this little bit of mushroom mixture, just right on top. And to finish this off, I want to showcase some of the topping that we had here. So I'm going to take this mushroom, I'm going to slice it up. I'm going to do a julienne on this green mushroom, or this green onion here, and on the jalapeno. Right on top like so. I'm going to finish plating the rest of these up, and we'll be having grace. So I want you to see the inside of this burger. And you can just see how beautifully cooked that burger is. It's not overcooked. It's still a hair rare. And with all the filling in it. Stuffed burger, D. Willie style. Ribs, mushroom, onion. Beautiful. Nice little medley here. Try it out. Know you'll enjoy it. When we come back, we'll be saying grace. Come, Lord Jesus, be our guest. Let to us this food be blessed. Thank the burger gods for blessing me with this recipe. It came to me one night in my head, and hopefully it'll come to you one night in your head. D. Willie Phats out. Enjoy.
Amen.